The next two ways would be creating digital motifs in Photoshop and in Illustrator. So for that, you'll need your computer, obviously, and you will also need some kind of drawing tablet. This is a pretty basic Wacom tablet that I like to use, and it comes with this stylus. It hooks into your computer with a USB port. You lay it flat and you just draw on it while you are looking on the screen. So that's how I designed for, the better part of my career. And if you're lucky enough to afford a Cintiq, which I finally got one and I love it, you can actually draw with your stylus on the screen, which is awesome. So either one of those are great, and obviously you need Illustrator and or Photoshop to be able to work in those mediums. So the first thing you want to do is open a new Photoshop file. I like to work in 3000 by 3000 pixels at 300 dpi, and I keep the color mode in RGB. So create your document and click Create. From there you can double click on the background layer so that you can adjust the color. I like to give my backgrounds a color, and I just work from this set of pre-made swatches that I already have in my library. I do a color overlay and just click on that color so we get this nice pink color. And then I add a new layer so that I can start drawing. Now if you go over to Windows and then Brushes, your brushes will come up. And I like to work in the 23 point kind of textured brush. You can choose really any brush that's in the library, and you can download different brushes online or from Creative Market. So it's really up to you what kind of brush you want to choose, but that's how I work. And so from there I just start drawing my leaves, and I like to create a clipping mask. So I kind of draw all these elements on a separate layer above the leaf and then create a clipping mask so that it clips it into the shape. I'm just looking at reference photos of flowers that I had created previously for my research, and I do like to create this sort of white outline. I do it on a layer underneath the flower so that kind of separates it from the background and gives it a little bit more dimension, because I am working pretty flat in this design. I also like to add mark making throughout my design and throughout the leaves, and kind of create just like fun dots and elements. And you can play around with creating different types and then just delete them if it's not working or if you're not loving it. You can also repeat the same motif over again and just change the color. I also like to overlap my motifs and my leaves just to give it a lot more depth. So this is the final pattern, and I do want to let you know that it is not in repeat, but that is okay because a lot of products do not require repeats for the product to be produced. So I sometimes don't put things into repeat automatically, because if it ends up being for a product that does not need the repeat, then I'm just doing additional work for no real reason. The important thing that I want you to take away from this is learning how to draw and kind of fill the page in Photoshop and create your motifs in Photoshop.